Hello children, welcome back. Snuggle up and for the next story in the series, in Mincemeat's World of Adventures. This story is about when an unexpected visitor arrives at the cottage. Thank you so much for joining Mincemeat and me. We hope you've enjoyed all the activities. And now for the story. Mincemeat, great-grandma's huge fluffy ginger cat, was busy in the kitchen trying out a new recipe, crispy fried ant and pumpkin bread. Great-grandma enjoyed particularly frightful food, especially beetle and apple pie and caterpillar cake. Mincemeat usually had the radio on, playing his favourite music while he baked, but today he switched it off after the weather forecast. He wanted to quietly concentrate. At first, he ignored the tapping sound. Sometimes the boiler made funny noises, but the tapping grew louder and more insistent. Looking up, he listened. It seemed as though it was coming from the back door. Mincemeat wiped his floury paws down the front of his white I Love Cooking apron and went to open the door. He couldn't see anybody there. Just as he was turning to go back inside the kitchen, something made him look down. Mincemeat could not believe his eyes. A mouse was looking up, clutching a brown hat to his chest. Neatly dressed in green trousers and a blue jacket, he looked absolutely terrified. And there he is. "Good afternoon," said Mincemeat, "and who might you be?" Barney felt his knees knocking together and his heart beating fast in his chest. Mincemeat appeared like a giant to him. He began to think that this had been a terrible idea. Why had he supposed that he wouldn't be in danger in the presence of a cat? Mincemeat's steady stare had Barney trembling. Oh dear, he does look frightened. He wanted to run, but found he was rooted to the spot. His eyes darted this way and that. He was looking for a way out. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide flashed through his mind. He clutched his hat even harder. Maybe I should try to make a run for it, he thought, as Mincemeat loomed over him. But it was like in a dream when you wanted to move and just couldn't. Mincemeat waited. Barney eventually found his voice. My name is Barney, he spurted out. I've heard all about how you help those in trouble. Mincemeat, I really need your help. Please. Need my help? You'll have to come in. Well, Barney was very frightened when he heard he'd have to come in. Barney froze. This is it. I'm done for. Barney's aunt, Mrs. Monday, had moved to the forest close to Great-Grandma's cottage and had made a home for herself and her 5 nieces and nephews in a big old teapot. Besides Barney, Mrs. Monday's nieces and nephews were Mervyn, Douglas, Martha and Matilda. Martha and Matilda were twins. They didn't go to school as Mrs. Monday taught them herself at home every morning. In the afternoons, they could do whatever they liked. Martha and Matilda loved going on bike rides through the forest. Douglas often chose to stay at home. He liked model making best of all and was very talented at building model aeroplanes. On this particular afternoon, Matilda was searching for bluebells in the forest. Under the lilac tree at the bottom of Great-Grandma's cottage garden, there was a secret door which led into the forest. Douglas was also out in the forest, looking for bits of wood for his model making. Mervyn was mending a flat tire on Matilda's bicycle. Matilda was busy sewing. Mrs. Monday was doing her washing. She always did her washing on a Monday. She had tried doing it on a Tuesday, but it just didn't come out as clean. Barney wasn't up to anything in particular. He was trying to decide what to do. Barney didn't like being good. He was the most mischievous mouse ever. He was often in trouble. When he spotted his aunt taking the washing outside to hang out, he decided to have some fun. Barney knew that Douglas had an old toffee tin, and along with all his bits and bobs for model making, Douglas kept nuts in the tin too. Barney loved nuts. He also loved being naughty. He never stopped to think if what he was doing was wrong, which meant he often found himself in real trouble afterwards. Martha was still on the sewing machine as Barney crept past the open bedroom door and up the stairs. He went into the bedroom he shared with Douglas and his brothers. He knew where Douglas kept the toffee tin. Lying flat on the floor, he crawled under Douglas's bed, grabbed the tin with both hands and reversed out. Taking off the lid, he found the store of nuts. "I'll just have one or two," he thought to himself, smiling. Well, one or two led to 3, then 4, and then a whole lot more. Barney was in heaven. He chomped his way through the nutshells, scattering them all over the floor as he stuffed the nuts in his mouth as fast as he could. As he sat surrounded by a pile of shells, he suddenly felt sick. "Oh, leaping ladybirds, I think I had better stop," he said to himself. Then he felt very sleepy. Douglas returned home with some excellent pieces of wood for his next model aeroplane. As he entered the bedroom, he found Barney stretched out on the floor, fast asleep, snoring very loudly. Barney was lying among a heap of nutshells and was with a completely empty tin beside him. Running out of the room and down the stairs, Douglas went to find his auntie. They made their way upstairs and into the bedroom. Mrs. Monday gasped. "Barney, what on earth have you been doing?" Barney had heard about Mincemeat. Like his auntie, he had never met Mincemeat. But he knew that Mincemeat would always help someone in trouble. He knew where Mincemeat lived, and he knew he needed his help. And to find out just how it turns out for Barney, the book is coming out at the end of April. And then you'll know all about what happened next. It's been so lovely being with you all. I hope you've had fun. Until next time, bye-bye from Mincemeat.